You too.
Thank you for waking up so early to do this Skype.
It's okay. It's all
That's
good.
insane. Do you like skateboarding in the morning? Is that
Well, I don't know. I wake up early in general, so it wasn't too much like of a I have to wake up this early just to Skype call. And sometimes yeah, it is better to get out earlier to certain skate spots that I guess certain people don't go to. Sometimes it's earlier to go. It's easier to go earlier.
right?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, okay. I want to start off by asking what it is that you feel when you're skateboarding that makes you love it so much.
I guess it's like the freedom of like being able to kind of do what you want in a way. It's like it's very freeing. There's like no one there to like tell you specifically like what to do, like where to go. It's not necessarily a team sport. You don't need like a friend to do it with, although it's nice to skate with someone, but you don't need like it's not like a group sport kind of thing. I guess yeah, it's just like the freedom really of being able to just step on your board and do whatever comes to your mind first. It doesn't have to be like, "Oh, I'm on my board now, I have to do this." It's like, no, I'm on my board and I have a variety of options that I could choose from.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Um, how many boards do you have?
I have one, but I go through probably I skate like one board for like maybe 3 weeks. So like yeah, I go through boards like pretty quickly, but I just skate one board and try and make it last as long as I possibly can.
Do they like break like in half, or they just kind of
Well, yeah, it depends. Like I'll either break them from either trying a trick or actually being frustrated from trying a trick. Or they just like wear out really. So it's either one of those three. But normally because they wear out, because I don't really break boards that much. I get frustrated a little bit and do it myself. But it's very rare that I'm doing a trick and I break my board.
sweet. All right, so you faced a lot of challenges in your journey to becoming a pro skateboarder. Can you tell us what you feel most grateful for about the way you came up in the skate community?
Oh, it's so hard because there's so much like there's so much has gone into me being at this point in my life, even in my career. Um, but what would I be? Just like the relationships I've made, I think. I'm really grateful for like all the amazing people that I've met along the way, like all the amazing advice I've gotten from a lot of like older skaters, dudes that have been doing it for a while. Because that was like, I guess like the main thing for me coming here was like trying to figure out the best possible way to like try to give this a shot. Like I didn't wanna mess it up and do it like the wrong way. So that's what like I'm most grateful for is that I had like those people to like tell me don't do this, like hang out with this person, you don't want to do that, which helped a lot because a lot of people don't really have that sometimes in certain situations. It doesn't have to be skating, just like in life in general. Like when you look back and you're like, damn, like if so and so didn't tell me like to do this or try that, like I probably wouldn't be here right now. So yeah, definitely grateful for the relationships I've made and the advice that I've been given.
Is there any advice you'd want to share with people, like best piece of advice you've gotten?
Um, well, I guess I've gotten like a bunch of different ones for like different situations, but I guess keeping the end in mind because I've always like had like a fear of like, oh, I might not make it like as a professional, but they're like, yo, as long as you accept that everything takes time, and if you keep the end in mind, like if you visualize or see yourself like doing something and being somewhere, that it is possible, but it's also just accepting that it's going to take time because sometimes you could see yourself doing something and being somewhere, but you might want to do it at like a crazy rate, which is like almost unrealistic. So it's like getting a little bit real with yourself and keeping that goal like nearby so you know that you can get there, which is like pretty much what has kept me going in a way, is just knowing that okay, I know it may not be now, but I know that I can get there eventually, which is the hardest thing because I don't know, we always want change to be like very instant in our lives, but it doesn't really work that way.
So obviously, through the movie, we see so much has changed since you've come to LA. Is there anything that you really miss about South Africa?
I miss my friends because it's really hard to make friends in LA. Although I've met a lot of people, I've made friends eventually, but it's very hard because people aren't so real here. I think that's what I miss, the realness. Like out of everything, like I just miss the realness. People are very like fake and superficial and all this. I don't know. It's just very weird. I still can't wrap my head around it. I've been here for over 3 years, and I'm still like, wow, like okay, it's not me. This is actually how people live here. So, um, but it is what it is, you know. Can't get too butthurt about it. It's just life. Yeah, like that's why I've met a few Canadians, and I'm like, wait, where there should be like more of you people like in LA. I'm like, where the Canadians, where the real people at? It's like I'm always like, where the real people?
Okay. Um, we'll go with an easier question. So, I've always really been into biking, but then I saw your movie and like instantly I was like, dude, I gotta learn to skateboard. So, you're just so awesome and so inspiring. So, I was wondering, do you have any tips for beginner skateboarders?
Um, don't be scared, which is like I feel like what kind of always puts people off of skateboarding is just like how fearful it could be. You know, it's like it's a very scary sport. I guess yeah, just not being scared and also doing it a lot. Like if you want to get good, like that's how I guess that's how like I finally that's how it became like more of a thing for me when I saw like how good I got when I put in more time. Like the more like if I skated an extra hour, like I would obviously like sometimes like learn a new trick at the park. So I would see it as if I skated a little bit longer, then it means I'm gonna get like that much better in a way. So yeah, just doing it more really is the only way is like and not being scared. Doing it more and not being scared.
For sure, that sounds
Yeah.
awesome. Um, okay. Another thing that really stood out to me in your movie was the music. I absolutely loved the soundtrack, and I was wondering, is that the kind of music that you listen to, or was that more like the filmmaker's decision?
Well, yeah, I definitely like had some say in like a lot of the music. But yeah, it was definitely like more of like the film side. I do listen to like some of that kind of music, but I don't know, I wouldn't for some of them, yeah, I wouldn't like personally pick some of the songs that were used, but then again, I'm not a filmmaker, I'm just a skateboarder. So, um, yeah, definitely like some of it I do listen to, but not all of it. Like some of it's kind of like, okay, I wouldn't have personally picked that, um, but yeah, some of it I do listen to. Like the jazz music, yeah. Like I'm more into like a little bit more jazzier kind of stuff.
Like jazz? What like who, for example?
I mean, Hugh Masekela, the song that plays in, I'm trying to think like which part of the film it's in, but he's like he's an old South African, like very famous jazz musician from South Africa called Hugh Masekela. My dad kind of got me into him actually, my stepdad, because he's like a big like jazz fan dude. Um, yeah, I don't know, it's like a little different because I like hip hop a lot. So when I like started listening to like a little bit more jazz music, I was like, oh, I didn't ever think I would like this because I would always listen to my dad playing it. I'm like, dude, this stuff sucks. Like this is for old people. This old people music. Like, what are you doing?
Okay. So, since we're in Canada, I was just curious, have you ever tried snowboarding?
No, I went sledding like 2 years ago. That's about as close as I've gotten to ever doing any form of snow riding, which was pretty exciting. It was my first time seeing snow, So I was like all excited. I definitely had on the wrong gear. I lasted probably like 10 minutes and my toes were frozen. So I was like, yeah, I should probably plan for this next time. But yeah, it's definitely like something I want to do. Snowboarding, it seems fun, and people say I think it would be a little bit easier because I guess I can skate. So
True, yeah.
yeah,
All the more reason to come to Canada.
right, even more. It's like, yeah, dude, if you wanna like fulfill your little snowboarding dream.
All right, so my last question is, do you have any advice for young people on facing their own challenges?
Oh man, I couldn't say it in like one word that could like empower you and like lift you up. Um, because it hasn't really been that for me, It's been like a bunch of things that have kind of kept me positive and on the right path to knowing that it sucks for now, but it's not forever, Like everything's temporary. Like that's how I feel like it's hard to see it like that when you're in a crappy situation, but nothing lasts forever, And it always has to be shitty before it gets really good. Like that's how I see it, Like I had a really shitty time and went through some really bad things, but like now I'm in America, like living out my dream, skating with like some of my best, like some of the dudes I saw like on a TV screen. So I don't know, it's like it's hard to just base it off of one thing.
Well, that
Um,
was some great advice in itself.
okay, no problem. Thank you.